general manager, and now Jeff Brantley. A lot of people feel like flat out this is the best team right now in baseball.
Yeah, I think when you talk about a National League club that has come leaps and bounds, you would probably think of the Chicago Cubs, because the Reds used to crush the Cubs as they did the Astros during that time when the Astros were losing 100-plus games a year. That is not this Astros ball club, even though they're without three of their star players, George Springer, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa. This is still a pretty good ball club, and they've got some good pitching on the mound tonight. Wade Miley threw awfully well in a Brewer uniform last year. 3 starts, ERA under 1. Works quick, throws a lot of strikes.
Well, we'll see how it works out. Again, the biggest concern I think we all have right now is the weather situation. Rain is imminent. Imminent could mean anything, but we'll see how quickly this cell moves and when and if it hits this ballpark. And if it does, there's a good chance that we could have some delay in action. So Castillo on the mound. He'll be going to work on Alex Bregman, their shortstop, and right now their leadoff batter, getting a .269 with 19 homers and 48 runs batted in. He's among the league leaders in both. First pitch is taken for a strike, and this game is underway. Our first pitch presented by Belterra Park, Cincinnati. One amazing place to play. 81 degrees, our game time temperature. The right-handed batting Bregman, and that pitch is taken, strike 2. Of course, it's a look-see situation right now for Houston. They've never seen Luis Castillo, and they know him by reputation. They know about the devastating changeup that he throws. That pitch is way off the plate outside, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
And I think the book on Castillo, especially for an American League club, is to make him work. Not a whole lot of strikes with the fastball, so you want to see what he can do early in the ball game.
Back he comes to the plate, and that one's in the dirt. So at one time it was 0-2. Now it's 2-2. Michael Brantley on deck. Yordan Alvarez waiting in the wings. A.J. Hinch, the manager of this Houston club, who just a couple of years ago won the World Series. Now the break-even pitch, and he swings and fouls it out of play. Roberto Ortiz is our plate umpire. Adrian Johnson at first, Quinn Wolcott at second, and the crew chief at third, Marvin Hudson. Holding count on Bregman at 2 balls and 2 strikes as Castillo winds, kicks, and delivers, and a swing and a miss, and there was the changeup. So the first victim of that changeup is the leadoff batter. Bregman back to the dugout, bat in hand, and now a left-handed swinger stands in, and Michael Brantley.
You watch Castillo, Marty, and he just doesn't look like he's throwing 98, 99 with his mechanics and the way he releases the ball. But that's how hard his fastball is.
Would you call his stuff easy gas?
Easy gas.
Yep.
And very deceptive.
He delivers, and here's a line drive to right. Here comes Puig, and he's got it. That ball hit right on the screws. Brantley with some familiarity as far as Castillo is concerned, having seen him when he was in a Cleveland Indians uniform, and he hit it on a button, but it was right at Yasiel Puig. And very quickly now, the left fielder stands in, Yordan Alvarez, and he is as advertised. That is a big young man standing into the batter's box to hit with 2 out.
And we have not seen him live, but you see him on TV. He does not look as big as he does in front of your eyes.
Pitch to him is up and in for a ball. The first Astro to hit 4 home runs in his first 5 major league games. He is 8 for his first 21 with a big league ball club. Foul ball is out of play, and it's a ball to strike. Right
and
field.
Power to all fields. It's not that he can just hit it to right or to left. He can hit it anywhere.
Boy, he's a big man.
No kidding.
Now the windup and the break-even pitch. And that one is hit in the air to center. Coming is Senzel, and that'll drop for a base hit.
Got that changeup right off the end of the bat.
So he just flares one up the middle, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Yuli Gurriel. Gurriel, a .255 batter with 5 homers and 32 runs batted in. Not hard to figure why the Astros are where they are relative to the American League and specifically to the American League West. They are second in team batting at .267 behind Minnesota. They are second in team earned run average at 3.59 behind Tampa Bay, and they are number one in the American League in fielding percentage. So if you're going to go by the numbers, these numbers don't lie. They are 48 and 24, and as Jeff mentioned, they've been winning, and you can afford to lose people like Carlos Correa and Jose Altuve and George Springer, and you still win, then you've got something special going on. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that's in the dirt, blocked by Casale.
You and I were talking about this before the ball game, and the man standing at first, and Yordan Alvarez. When you lose a guy like George Springer or Correa or Altuve, and you bring a guy to the big leagues and he hits 4 home runs in his first 5 games, I mean, my goodness, that's called depth.
Now the 1-1 pitch to Gurriel, a right-hand batter, and that one's grounded to shortstop, and it's Peraza throwing on to the waiting Farmer for the force out. We go to the bottom of the first. Against the Reds, he was 2-0 last year with an ERA of less than 1. He delivers first pitch hitting. Senzel pops it into shallow center, and the second baseman, Tony Kemp, had a ways to go, but he went out there and made the play. So Senzel gone after 1 pitch, and the batter will be Joey Votto. Miley, last year a Brewer, this year an Astro. He's 6-3 in 14 starts with a very fine 3.14 earned run average.
He's not going to overpower you. He's going to outsmart you. Got that good cut fastball. That's been really the thing that has re-energized his career. Change up, and he'll run that fastball up in the zone in a hurry.
Votto takes it low and away for a ball, and he will work very, very quickly. Votto waiting, now the wind and the 1-0 pitch, and Joey takes, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
When we say work fast, throw strikes, change speeds, that's both of these guys here tonight.
Yeah. 2 balls and no strikes on Votto. No score here in the bottom of the first. An exceedingly long look this time by Miley, and he delivers on the inner part of the plate to call strike. Suarez due up next. 255 batter Votto. He's over the last 17 games swung the bat at a 373 clip. So he has definitely been on the money after a terrible start. He swings and misses on a fastball up in the zone, and it's a 2-2 count.
Miley is one of those pitchers, Marty, that you have to make him slow down a little bit. And if you don't do that, he will eat you alive.
He's back to the plate. Votto checks, ball 3. They've got White at first, Kemp at second, Bregman at short, Gurriel at third, Alvarez in left with Reddick in center and Brantley in right. And Robinson Chirinos behind the plate, and Votto with a defensive swing to get a piece and foul it off. They will tee it up again at 7:10 tomorrow night, and then the homestand comes to a close in the third and final game of this series at 12:35 on Wednesday. And, of course, tomorrow night, a true ace will go to the mound for the Astros and Justin Verlander. Swing at a miss, and Votto's out on strikes. Here's Eugenio Suarez. Day by day by day, the slump continues. Big time. 5 hits and 42. 5 for his last 42. That's caused his batting average to drop from what it was a high 281 down to its current 254. He has been stuck on 15. Well, he hit a home run in Cleveland last week. That pitch is in for a call strike. Trying for the 1-2-3 start is Louisiana native Wade Miley, and the pitch is a breaking ball in, 1 ball and 1 strike.
There were times last year when Suarez had a little bit of miscalculation at the plate. He began to hit the ball the other way. We've not seen that here in this issue that he's in right now.
2-1. And now 3 ball, 1 strike count. When he's been on the mound, more often than not, it's been money. In fact, the Astros have won 8 of his last 10 starts. And overall, they've gone 10-4 in his 14 outings. Strike 2 call. Of course, those numbers would probably be mirrored by most of the other starters they have when you double the number of losses as far as wins are concerned. There's ball, call strike 3. He started toward first. The plate umpire Ortiz rings him up. Gurriel, a hit into a force play. Bouncer back to the box on a hop. Checks Rob Manfred's signature, does Castillo, and underhands to Joey Votto, 1 out. We've got our good friend Bobby Nightingale from the Cincinnati Enquirer in here. Now, when have you been scheduled to run? Since Mark Sheldon has now broken the ice.
See, I thought he would do a little bit better, so now I would be nervous to try and follow that. Because now you're compared to Mark, and it's like if you lose like Mark did, then, you know.
So what are you saying?
He kind of set the standard.
Well, do you think you'd lose by as bad as he lost?
I'm not a distance guy. If you did like half the distance of sprint, I think I'd be okay.
I got you covered. Here's Robinson Chirinos, ball 1. You had a nice chat with Michael Lorenzen about his season up to date.
Yeah, he feels like he's a better pitcher than he was last year. His strikeouts are up, his walks are down, his velocity's way up. I mean, just all of his pitches, except for his changeup, are about 3 or 4 miles an hour faster, which he attributes to saying, you know, he said it's the best he's felt since 2016, physically and mentally. And, you know, that's a reason why his changeup's been such a good pitch for him. He kind of compared it to Luis Castillo, just the way it plays off of it. And he's still working on it, obviously, and it's not at Castillo's level, but just how much he's trying to rely on it against lefties and righties. He wants it to kind of be at that level for himself. And that's why he thinks he's pitching a lot better this year.
2-2 on a swing and a high changeup. Is he concerned about his offense?
Well, David Bell said he wants to find more opportunities for him. He felt a little bit bad that he hasn't had that many plate appearances. Lorenzen said he's been doing more batting practice lately, and he would have hit yesterday in the 8th inning if the pitcher spot would have came up, but it just never did.
3 balls and 2 strikes now on the 244 batting catcher Robinson Chirinos with Tyler White on deck, and apparently it has started to rain. Folks are breaking out rain gear, and folks are heading toward dry land as Chirinos strikes out swinging. And with 2 out in the inning, the batter will be Tyler White.
But I approached Lorenzen just about, we're 2.5 months into the season, and kind of the novelty of him playing in the outfield, pinch running, doing all these different things, we're off really fast. I mean, it just became kind of the new normal. I mean, in the middle of April, it was just like, that's a normal thing for.
And he likes this type of thing. He knew going into the year that this was going to be the case, but to actually go through it, he's enjoyed it.
Yeah, he said he feels more locked in mentally just because he feels like every day comes to the ballpark. Even if he's, he knows he's not going to pitch that day, he feels like there's a chance he could pinch run or still hit that day. So he feels like he has to stay in every single game, which he loves as a former hitter.
2 balls and no strikes. So he's been in the outfield how many times?
13 innings.
How many?
13.
13 total.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With Senzel in center, he's been playing a little bit more in the corners.
Yes. Bad pitch way off the plate outside and off the mid of Kurt Casale, and against Tyler White, a 229 batter. Castillo is now fallen behind in the count, 3 balls and no strikes, with Tony Kemp, the second baseman, an 8-hole batter on deck. Here's the 3-0, and that's inside, ball 4. So he's issued his first walk of the night, and Kemp will, as a matter of fact, swing to bat.
I would think that you would have to be comfortable with Michael Lorenzen at any outfield spot and running the bases at any point in time. I think those, besides the pitching part, obviously.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's a pretty good asset to have. I mean, there's not a lot of pitchers that you could just run out there in the outfield at any point in time, and he played just as good as your regular.
He's a heck of an athlete.
He is.
Yeah.
He's a great athlete.
Here's a bouncing ball to Votto, diving stop. Nice play on the half hop, and he gets up and goes to the bag to retire Kemp and end the inning. Plus kids 14 and younger will receive a team baseball card set thanks to the folks at Cons. For tickets, visit Reds.com/150. First up here in the bottom of the second is Yasiel Puig. He had 2 infield hits and a 2-run home run here yesterday. And that 11-3 win over the Rangers, and now brings to the plate a 5-game hitting streak. Pitch on the way from Miley, and it's high, ball 1.
See, Puig's doing what he's doing right now on purpose.
Yeah.
That step out of the box and working with the bat, they're just trying to slow him down a little bit.
Now the 1-0 coming, and that was a swing and a miss on a pitch in on his hands. That evens a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. We talk about how fast Miley works. Well, he is the fastest working starting pitcher in Major League Baseball here in 2019, averaging 19 seconds between pitches. That's down a ball. The next closest pitcher from the Colorado Rockies, German Marquez, and he gets him up there at 20.8 seconds between pitches.
And for the most part, you've got two guys that work really quick tonight.
Pops him up on the 2-1 pitch. That's an infield pop-up. And it's caught by Alex Bregman. There's one down here in the bottom of the second inning, and the batter will be left fielder Philip Urban. Western and Southern Financial Group wants to strike out cancer all season long. Every time a Reds pitcher strikes out a batter, Western and Southern will make a donation to the Barrett Cancer Center. As Western and Southern says, when it comes to fighting cancer, we are all in this one together.
And now it's time for our Cincinnati Bell trivia question of the game.
Back to the wall right now, Biggin.
Text the word vote along with your answer of A, B, or C to 66128 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, a $25 Skyline Chili gift card, a $25 Dunkin' Donuts gift card, and a free haircut from Great Clips. All brought to you by Cincinnati Bell, connecting what matters.
And in the time it took you to read that,
see you later.
Philip Urban has taken 3 strikes, and he walks back to the dugout, out number 2.
Hall of Famer Joe Morgan began wearing number 8 in his first season with the Reds in 1972 and wore the number for the balance of his career. From 1965 to 1971, Morgan wore a different number as Houston's second baseman.
Looping liner into right, and that drops for a base hit for Jose Peraza.
What I would like for you to tell me is what number did Joe wear as Houston's starting second baseman? Was it A5, B14, or C18?
5, 14, or 18.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you said?
Those were your choices.
I'm going to say 18.
Any reason for that? Just because it had an 8 in it?
I'm not going to tell you.
Might you tell me in the 8th?
I'm going to keep that to myself.
Would you tell me in the 8th?
Maybe.
When I give you the chance to change it?
I might. If something happens between now and the 8th inning to make me mad like that TV made you mad yesterday, then
that was your fault.
And it was my fault. You talk about madder than a wet hen yesterday. Now I had to chuckle. That TV
was see the bullpen.
That signal was going in and out, and as it turned out, old Marty kicked out the plug. Didn't even know it.
I apologize to everyone I yelled at.
All out of sorts, I mean. That pitch is taken. The count's 1 ball and 1 strike on Casale.
You know, I wore number 8 at Mississippi State because of Joe Morgan.
You did?
That's the number I picked. And everybody said, you can't wear 8 if you're a pitcher. I said, well, yeah, I can.
And you did.
And I did.
God bless you. 2 out in the inning, a 1-1 count. Casale takes it off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nothing to score here in the bottom of the second. The Reds get their first hit after Miley had retired 5 in a row, 3 of which he struck out. And now it's a 2-1 count on the .290 batting Kurt Casale.
Casale might catch that little cutter inside.
Bouncer foul. He's way out in front of that breaking ball and slapped it down to third base coach J.R. House.
So far, he's kept everything away from him. Remember that ball that Casale hit early in the season against Josh Hader? Came in with the slider and he hooked it right down the left field corner.
Sure did. Double and a hard hit ball. A 2-2 count. And it's up the middle, but they're playing him that way. And the pick and the throw by second baseman Tony.
Luis Castillo, a couple of scoreless innings in the book, as has his counterpart, Wade Miley. And speaking of Wade Miley, he will step to the plate. He will be the first batter against Castillo here as we begin the third. And Miley can swing the bat. He may be an American League pitcher, but he can hit. He takes the first pitch up and away, a fastball from the right-hander Castillo, 1-0. Now the Reds righty back to the plate, and he'll hit the inside corner with a fastball, and that's a strike. 1-1 here to Miley. Miley swings it from the left side just like he throws it from the left side, and he taps this one foul. A changeup on the inside corner. Looked like he fouled that one right off his front foot. Miley now chokes up on the bat a bit as he waits on the right-hander Castillo, and a ground ball headed to the shortstop. Backhanded Peraza, the throw to first, and no, he came off the bag. Votto came off the bag at first. The throw was wide by Peraza, and that's going to be an error on Jose Peraza, and that will allow Miley to reach. That was a can of corn as far as a ground ball, and Peraza just didn't quite get his feet set enough to make a firm throw to first base. The ball tailed on him off to the side. It appears the Reds are going to challenge that call at first base. Now, when you see it live, it appeared that Joey Votto thought he had the out. Matter of fact, Votto not only caught the baseball, but began to throw the ball around the infield. And the first base umpire, Adrian Johnson, evidently did not see the heel of Votto, which it appeared was on the bag. And I'm sure that the umpires will look back through it, and we'll find out exactly if his heel was on the bag or not. This Barbasol Close Shave Manager Review is brought to you by Barbasol Razors. Here's a no-brainer. Barbasol is making razors. Try the Barbasol Ultra 6 Plus Razor today. Meanwhile, Luis Castillo will continue to throw as the skies have darkened immensely since we began this ball game. Huge dark cloud coming from the right field part of the stadium over the top. And now it appears the umpires are coming out of the headsets. We'll figure out exactly what that call will be. And Votto did stay on the base with his heel. His front toe was well off the bag, but he kept the heel on the front edge corner of the base, and Votto did a great job there to bail out a throw by the shortstop Peraza. So that's going to be an out and an overturned call. 6-3 on the out to Miley. Now one down, and we go back to the top of the Astros order. Here's Alex Bregman. And he takes the first pitch breaking ball. It's downstairs, 1-0. Bregman took a lot of pitches in his first at-bat and ultimately ended up striking out on the changeup away. And he takes a slider down and away, and it's 2-0. Same count for Bregman in his first at-bat. He was the first batter of the ball game. Back to the plate, Castillo. That one almost hit him. A 97-mile-an-hour heat seeker right in on the hands of Bregman, and it almost caught him as he jackknifes out of the way, and it's a 3-0 count. And 3-0 swinging, ground ball, diving, snag by Farmer. The throw, got him. Oh, what a play by Kyle Farmer. Farmer was playing on the shortstop side of second base, and now the Astros may challenge this play. Farmer dove to his left. He actually dove towards center field, made the catch, spins around, and threw a bullet right on the dime to Votto at first. That was one heck of a play for a guy that does not get a whole lot of starts at second base. That was brilliant. 2 down. And now Michael Brantley. He's seen one pitch here tonight, and he lined it into the glove of Yasiel Puig in right field. And a fastball strike over the outside corner. Wow, what a play by Kyle Farmer. The 0-1 pitch, and that's going to miss high. Fastball riding up and out of the strike zone. Brantley came in hitting over 300, and he flares this one down the left field line. It'll be in the seats and out of play. father, Mickey Brantley, was a heck of a hitter. But he did not hit from the right side. He did not hit from the left side. He hit from the right side. And a fastball misses up and away at 98. That'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Michael Brantley has always been a great contact hitter, and he does not contact this changeup. It tells you a little bit about Luis Castillo. The bottom falls out of it. A 3-down inning for the Reds right-hander. Bottom of 3 coming up. Appearance has been Geico's home run for over 75 years. Get a quote today with a proud partner of Major League Baseball at Geico.com. Geico, so easy, a caveman can do it. Strike 1 here to the right-handed hitting Kyle Farmer, who just made a phenomenal play at second base. Pops this one foul back behind home plate. He's down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Miley turns it loose. Changeup well off the outside corner. Farmer not chasing that one. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Well, the folks that are sitting in the seats, they can see how dark it is. That ball hits Kyle Farmer square in the back, right between the 5 and the 2 on his jersey, and he will be a leadoff base runner. Folks can see the dark cloud above head, and they have moved, for the most part, into covered areas. Because when it comes down, it's going to come in a hurry. So Luis Castillo, more than likely, he'll be asked to bunt here. And bunt he does, and it drops right out in front of home plate. To throw to second will get Kyle Farmer. Farmer could not break immediately because the ball was bunted straight up into the air. He did not know if Miley or the catcher, Chirinos, was going to catch the baseball. He had to pause momentarily, and that allows Chirinos to nail him at second base, 1 down. Bregman took the throw. So Farmer out. 2-6. Castillo will now become a base runner. Well, he won't become a base runner right now because the rain is coming in a hurry, and they are covering the field of play. Tarp crew on, and they are rolling it out about as fast as you can do it.
Yep, we said at the top of the broadcast it was going to happen, and happened it is at the moment. The teams have been told to leave the field, and crack grounds crew quickly getting the big tarp rolled out, and very soon we'll be covering the entire infield. And again, it'll be interesting to find out, given the nature of what we're witnessing right now and the possibility, depending upon how long this may be, that David Bell may have just utilized his number 1 starter for as long as he possibly can now, depending upon how long he has to sit in the clubhouse to get this rain cell through, when in other situations we've seen him hold up the beginning of the game because we knew it was going to rain, and rain it is. So that's going to be critical now to find out if you lose your number 1 starter after only 3 innings of baseball, Jeff.
The best case scenario for both managers is that it rains hard, but it rains quick, and it's out of here.
Well, they've got the message that we've seen all too many times recently on the board. There's severe weather in the area that includes lightning. At this time, we, meaning the ball club, ask that you please move to the concourse areas for your safety. Thank you for your cooperation. So it's not only rain, but it's also the probability of thunder and lightning. And again, we've had a lot of that. We had it overnight the other night that was so loud that it would wake you up. This area has taken a ton of rain, whereas you get a lot of rain in the spring is when most of the rain falls in Houston. We were talking with Robert Ford and Steve Sparks, their radio crew, and they said this time of year, not so much as it is during the early days of the season. Of course, they don't have to worry about it because they've been covered ever since the Astrodome was built, and then when they got the new ballpark, they have the roof there too, so it's never a consideration for this Houston ball club. No score in this game through 3 innings. Luis Castillo has allowed but 1 hit, and that was the first inning 2-out single by Yordan Alvarez. He has struck out 3 and walked 1. And the Reds have had one hit off of Wade Miley, and that was a single in the second by Jose Peraza. And when the umpires told him to leave the field, the Reds had a runner at first base with one out and Nick Senzel due to bat. So we're going to send it back to our stations along the network line, and hopefully it will not be very long. We'd like to think this cell will get through here in a hurry, and we'll be getting back to playing baseball. But for now, we've got a rain delay, and we send it to our network stations on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. He has walked one, and Wade Miley has struck out three, and typically for him, he has not walked a batter. So we head to the bottom of the third. Jeff, it's back to you.
Well, they have waved the grounds crew off the field. Now, not every grounds crew employee has left the field. There are two still out in left center field. I think Wade Miley is ready to go. He continues to look around as if to say, hey, 8:35 is 8:35. Let's go.
8:35 is now 8:41.
It is passed. So they will close the door out in the Astros bullpen, and there is still water on the field, but we're going to play some baseball. And Luis Castillo is at first base, and Nick Senzel will step to the plate. One down here in a scoreless ball game. Ooh, that was close. Castillo almost got picked off. A snap throw to first by Wade Miley, and he almost got Castillo napping. And it's probably a good thing that Castillo is actually running the bases right now just to get some blood flow going after having to sit for a limited amount of time. This is not a injury concern or anything like that. If you have an hour delay, well, then, yeah, you can talk about that. But both of these starters, I think, are advanced enough to where they can go back out on the mound and do what they need to do. The 0-1 to Senzel is fouled back again, almost in the identical spot as the first pitch. And he's down in the count, no balls and two strikes. This inning started a hit by pitch by Takal Farmer after he was down 0-2. That pitch misses well upstairs. Castillo attempted a bunt. He popped the bunt up high enough to where Farmer could not aggressively move towards second base. He had to wait to see if the ball was going to fall, and they got him easily at second base. Back to the plate, Miley, and again he misses high and away to Senzel. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scoreless baseball here in the bottom of the third inning. And a couple of good ones on the mound here tonight in Wade Miley and the Reds right-hander Luis Castillo. Miley checks Castillo at first. The pitch, swing and a miss. Had a slider down and in, and Senzel down on strikes, 2 down. Miley has a unique ability to make one pitch look like the next. It could be a fastball in a certain spot, comes back, starts that cut fastball in the same spot, and it breaks right off the same plane. And then the changeup follows, and Joey Votto checks his swing on a cut fastball just off the outside corner, and it's strike 1. Well, Miley has not slowed his tempo a bit. He came right out of the dugout firing bullseyes. He misses inside here, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Votto struck out in his first at-bat. A check swing on that cut fastball from the left-hander Miley. Pitch to the plate, and that's well off the outside corner. A little more break to that one, and Votto doesn't chase it, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. You can still see lightning off in the distance, but not a bit of rain at the moment, and it was raining some kind of hard earlier. And that pitch is going to miss a bit downstairs, and it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count here to Votto with a Eugenio Suarez waiting on deck. 2 down for Miley. And the left-hander comes to the set, back to the plate. Fouled straight back off the bat of Joey Votto. Cutter right on the outside corner. Votto 7 for his last 25. He's bumped his average up to 255. It's still not in that Joey Votto-like zone. The runner going, and a fastball misses just above the strike zone. Miley wanted that pitch, but it is ball 4 here to Votto. And the Reds have their first runner in scoring position. It happens to be their starting pitcher, Luis Castillo. Eugenio Suarez struck out looking in his first at-bat. Miley sets and deals. And he hits the outside corner with a changeup, strike 1. Put the ball in the same location that he got the called strike 3 on Suarez, but a different pitch. It was the changeup.
I'm Sean Gallagher in the 700 WLW Newsroom. We'll get you back to the Reds game in just a second, but a tornado warning has been issued for west central Brown County until 9 o'clock tonight. At 8:42, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Mount Oreb, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Locations that could be impacted include Mount Oreb, Locust Ridge, and New Hope. Again, a tornado warning in effect for west central Brown County until 9 o'clock tonight. Again, tornado warning, west central Brown County until 9 o'clock. Now back to the Reds game. We'll keep you posted here on 700 WLW.
Out for the second time through the lineup for the Astros. And we'll see exactly how Luis Castillo handles the delay. It did not appear to bother the veteran Wade Miley in any way, fashion, or form. He came on to strike out Senzel. He did walk Votto on a very borderline high fastball, and then he strikes out Eugenio Suarez with the high fastball. So Yordan Alvarez singled his first time up. He has the lone Astro hit here in this ball game. Came with 2 outs back in the first, caught a changeup right off the end of the bat. Pitch to the plate, and that's going to be a strike right on the outside corner. Alvarez, big left-handed batter. Pitch to the plate. That's going to miss upstairs. And a ball and a strike. Big-time power, all fields. Has had trouble with the breaking ball more so than the changeup, and he lifts this one high into the air into right center field. Senzel on the move. He's got it on the track, 1 down. And that'll bring to the plate Yuli Gurriel. Gurriel hitting in the 4th spot, and as we mentioned to begin this ball game, the Astros are missing 3 of their everyday players: George Springer, Carlos Correa, and Jose Altuve. Here's a base hit into right field. First pitch swinging quickly to it is Yasiel Puig, and Gurriel will hold up. And that was quite the throw from Yasiel Puig. Went right underneath the glove of Peraza, right through his legs, but backing it up was the pitcher Castillo. But it's a single with 1 out, and that'll bring Josh Reddick to the plate. I have yet to see any batter, at least so far this year, that has challenged Yasiel Puig's arm on a ball hit down the right field line. They round first, and they shift it into park. First pitch off the plate here to Reddick. Reddick has been swinging the bat pretty well lately, hitting at a 304 clip. Left-handed batter waiting on Castillo, and there's a fastball that misses just a bit down. 2 balls and no strikes. Reddick, for some reason, even with a short porch in left field, and I guess it's just simply because he's a left-handed batter, hits better on the road than he does at Minute Maid Park. And if you have ever been to Minute Maid, there is a very high wall similar to the monster that you would see at Fenway. Not quite as high, but it is very, very short. Check swing on a breaking ball inside, and it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count. So Reddick, quite the patience he is showing here in this at-bat. Grounded out to Votto his first time up. He was swinging early. Votto holding Gurriel at first base. Reds play 3 on the right field side, a second. Swing and a miss. Hard running fastball off the plate away, and Reddick swinging right over the top of it. The 3-2 pitch coming. Gurriel on the move, and the pitch misses inside, and that's going to be a walk for Reddick. And now the Astros making a bit of noise here in the fourth with runners at first and second base. Only one out in the inning, and here's Robinson Chirinos. Chirinos did strike out his first time up. I would imagine for Castillo, he would love to have a ground ball double play and send his team and himself right back into that first base dugout. Out of the stretch is Castillo. He will check second once, pitch to the plate, and it's fouled off right in front of home plate. May have caught the front foot of Chirinos. Chirinos getting the bulk of the playing time with Max Stassi on the disabled list, or the injured list, I should say. Castillo back to the belt, and he'll turn it loose. And he misses inside this time with a fastball. Castillo has had some awfully good movement on the fastball here early in this ball game. He started out the game 98-99, sitting at 96 at the moment. And that one's going to go to the backstop. Off the glove of the catcher, Casale. A wild pitch will be the scoring decision. And it was definitely way over in the left-handed hitter's batter's box, but that was probably a catchable ball. Well, that will eliminate the double play. Now this is the best scoring opportunity for either team here early in this one. 2-1 pitch, and that's going to miss inside with a changeup, and it's 3-1. So Castillo not nearly as sharp after the rain delay as he was prior to. Big deep breath, sets and turns it loose. Swing and a miss. Good changeup down and away from Chirinos. And a big swing by the Astros catcher way over the top of that one. So now instead of the strikeout, or instead of the double play, you would like to strike out here if you are Luis Castillo. And this is the time where the strikeouts matter the most. You put the ball in play if you're Chirinos, more than likely you've got yourself a run, especially if the ball's on the ground with the Reds playing back. Pitch to the plate, and he walked it. Change up way in off the plate, almost hit the back foot of Chirinos, but that will load the bases, and it will also bring the Reds pitching coach Derek Johnson to the mound. Casale, Johnson, and Castillo, all with a meeting on the mound. It'll be a quick one because home plate umpire Roberto Ortiz is already headed in that direction. So this conversation is over. Castillo with his back against the wall here coming out of the rain delay. A first pitch, 1-out single by Gurriel. But the last two batters have been really the responsibility of Castillo. He has walked them both, Reddick and Chirinos. And now Tyler White will step to the plate. White very patient his first time up as he walked. Castillo turns it loose. Swing and a miss and a changeup down and in. And White with a big swing and well out in front. So Castillo moving back in the right direction. He's ahead in the count. No balls and a strike. And the right-hander sets, turns it loose, and he misses inside with a fastball. Evens it up at a ball and a strike. Well, at this point, you take any out you can get. If it's a pop-up, fly ball, strikeout, you'd love to have that ground ball double play. But with the ground being wet, you never know the surety of the handle of the ball. And right now, Castillo can't find the strike zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. He misses inside again. It's pretty obvious by the Astros' approach. They are being quite patient. The pitch. Right back up the middle, backhanded by Farmer. He'll step on second, on to first. And Kyle Farmer has made 2 magnificent plays at second base here in the first 4 innings of play. The 4th inning, Yasiel Puig to lead it off. It is identification time here on the Reds Radio Network.
Ohio's governor wants to shorten the wait time at BMVs across the state with a new program. Get the latest after the game on the home of the Reds. News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
Wade will step to the plate. Right-handed batter waiting on Wade Miley. Astros pull 3 infielders on the left field side of second base, and that tends to be more the norm for most power hitters than playing a regular lineup. And 2 breaking balls have missed down and in. Puig almost with a disgusted look on his face as he stepped out of the box. And here's the 2-0. And that baby's right on the inside corner, and that was a changeup. Puig, Irvin, Peraza, 3 right-handed batters against the lefty Miley. And that's going to miss downstairs. Another changeup for Miley, and it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count. And back to the plate he comes. Ground ball off the hands, fielded by the first baseman White. He will step on the bag. 1 down. And that fastball right on the hands of Puig. And Puig quite tardy on a 3-1 pitch. And just a slow ground ball to the first baseman, and Puig slams his bat to the ground in frustration. Here's Phillip Ervin. He saw 3 pitches and back to the dugout his first time up. And he's swinging here on a changeup that was off the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Miley back to the plate. And he misses downstairs with a changeup here. 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch. Fouled straight back right over the top of the on-deck batter, Jose Peraza. Peraza ducked quickly. Ball was headed right towards his helmet. But a 1-ball, 2-strike count here to Irvin. Miley back to the plate. Strike 3 called. Fastball right down Broadway. Strike 3. 2 down. What Miley is doing to some of the young Reds hitters is pitching backwards. And he does that to some of the veteran hitters. Breaking balls, cutters, change-ups early. And just when you start to slow your eyes down, he speeds them up with that fastball at 92. Not that many fastballs that Miley will throw, at least in the strike zone. But he gets 2 strikes on you, and he's thrown all off-speed pitches. He's coming with it. Ground ball shortstop. Bregman on to first, and that's a
lead things off. And the first pitch from Castillo is ball 1. He was in danger of having a bad 4th inning when he walked back-to-back hitters with 1 out to load him up, but then induced a double play ball off the bat of Tyler White, called strike, and it was all due to another outstanding play at second base to start the double play by Kyle Farmer. 1-1 on Kemp, who bounced to first to end the second. He waves at that pitch. Right now a 61-pitch night. And Castillo threw a ton of pitches in the 4th inning, but still right now with only 61, as he brings that 1-2 pitch play where now one bounces into the dirt, even the count of 2-2. 3 punch outs, 3 walks, and has surrendered 2 hits. He winds, kicks, and throws, and that's a ground ball hit to Votto behind the bag, and Joey will beat Kemp to the bag for out number 1. Wade Miley opened the 3rd by grounding to shortstop. Fans, no more need to eat out when you can enjoy the ultimate appetizer from home with JTM's new Craft House Creations beer, cheese, and pretzel bites. Find his favorite game day snack in your grocer's freezer. JTM, let's create great dishes together. Miley, a left-handed batter, takes the first pitch, ball 1. Meanwhile, the Reds Community Fund Action Auction has been underway now for a while, with Jim Day once again lending his many talents to hosting that event, ably assisted by George Grand. And so if you've not tuned them in, take a look at the items that are being auctioned off, with all the proceeds going to the Reds Community Fund. Ball strike at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Got a little more light rain falling.
We do. We do. Oh, well.
There's an echo in here.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. He just helped the cause by chasing a bad pitch. I think Miley wanted to get back to the dugout more than anything. And now the leadoff batter for the 3rd time tonight, and that would be Alex Bregman. Bregman struck out to begin the game and then was robbed of a hit by Farmer on an outstanding play on a hard-hit ground ball back in the 3rd. Sitting on 19 home runs and 48 RBIs. This very talented shortstop. Normally a third baseman takes the first pitch for ball 1. That one's fouled out of play, and again they make the trek up the aisles heading for the concourses. With the rain falling, I would assume, rather lightly at the moment.
That's not too bad.
Have you scoped out the cell that's causing this problem?
I think we're going to get a little bit of this.
Off and on?
Yes. I don't know that it would be enough to stop the ball game unless something drastic happens, but it doesn't appear that anything is coming our direction that would stop the game, at least in the next hour or so.
A ball and 2 strikes on Bregman. And he lays off the high fastball. The count is 2-2. Castillo bringing it back, and it's fouled back. So Bregman immersing himself in a pretty good at-bat. We mentioned the fact they were last year, the Astros, in 2012. That, if you're counting, was the last year in which they were in the National League. And this is a ball club that has played very well in this ballpark. In fact, coming into this game tonight, their .533 winning percentage is the third highest of any National League team with a minimum of 50 games. You got the Mets, amazingly, have the best at 32-19. The Dodgers, 35-23. And then the Astros. There's strike three call. Bregman thought it was ball four. Ortiz rings him up, inning over.
Line extending from near Leesburg to near Belfast, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are the main hazard with this storm. Again, severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 9:45 for eastern Highland County. There's also one for southwestern Highland County, still in effect until 9:30. That also includes east central Brown County. Stay tuned to 700 WLW if any more severe weather were to break out. Now back to the Reds.
Because you would be a dead out.
Well, that was one of those ground balls you could almost feel with your bare hand, but nobody was there. And so he's over at first. And now Farmer, who was hit by a pitch, he also was a base runner. That's 3, now 4, with the single to begin this inning by Casale. And the first pitch is ball 1. Castillo waiting on deck. Miley studies Chirinos and pitches, and that's just a bit low. And the hitter now in front, 2 balls and no strikes. Left-hander eyes the runner, pitches, and 3-0. A pitch away from putting the first 2 on here in the 5th. Farmer waits the pitch, and that's a strike, 3-1. Tomorrow night, Anthony DeSclafani against Justin Verlander, 7:10, and then Wednesday, 12:35, Tyler Mahle will get right-hander Garrett Cole, the former Pittsburgh Pirates. Ball 4. A base hit and a walk, and the Reds are stirring the pot up here in the 5th inning, and now Castillo comes to the plate.
You must execute the bunt here. You can't afford.
I'm Sean Gallagher, 700 WLW Newsroom. Back to the Reds in just a second. Severe thunderstorm warning is now in effect for southern Brown County and also for northwestern Mason County and northern Kentucky until 9:45 at 9:11 p.m. A severe thunderstorm was located over Ripley, moving east at 35 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are the main concern with this storm. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Mason County and northern Kentucky and southern Brown County and southwest Ohio until 9:45. Now back to the Reds.
But what the Astros did is they took Bregman and sent him to third base. They are playing for the out at third.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can see where Bregman's going right now. He is walking towards third base.
Castillo with a chance to really help himself here against a tough defense and trying to get a bunt down, admittedly so. Now the 0-1 pitch, and he bunts at it. It's out in front of the plate, and he got a good one down this time. The catcher had to come out to make the play and throw down to Tony Kemp covering at first.
That's just great execution.
Tremendously done by Luis Castillo, and now that he's gotten them to second and third, let's see what Senzel can do about sending somebody home.
He got it out far enough in front of home plate where the ball just happened to get right at the cut of the grass by the time the catcher Chirinos got to the baseball. There was no play at third.
Houston infield, as you would expect, is in. Senzel has popped up and struck out. He's not had very good at-bats. His first 2 times up here against a left-hander he's never seen before. And now the pitch to him, and that's taken ball 1.
You can be the toughest of guys that there is, but when you have stitches in your left eye, your eye that is straight, the first one towards the pitcher, I don't know that you can overcome. I mean, you tried to.
That's up the middle, and that's a base hit into center field. And that's going to get 2 runners across. A big hit for Senzel, and the Reds take a 2-0 lead.
Well, he overcame it there. Got that cutter in and shoots it right back up the box.
Young man who has been batting almost 400 with runners in scoring position, and he just showed everyone why with a line drive up the middle, and the Reds are on the board. And here's Joey Votto.
Well, we've seen what execution does here in this inning. Proper execution, that is. Great job by Casale to get the inning started, hitting the ball the other way.
Votto takes ball one.
Castillo did exactly what he is supposed to do, and that's get the bunt down to advance the runners. And then you've got a hitter at the plate that doesn't try to do too much with that cutter in. Just take it right back through the middle, and he did.
Joey has struck out and walked. 1 out in the inning, 2 runs in. Senzel at first. Miley bringing it up there, and that's taken for another ball. 2 balls and no strikes. And Miley now not commanding the strike zone. First time in the game that has been a problem for him. And the Reds are making him pay for it. Votto fouls off to the left. 2 balls and 1 strike. Joey taking his time getting back into the box, and Wade Miley was ready 10 seconds ago. He was forced to wait as Votto took his time getting back into the box. And that's taken on the inside. He made a great pitch right there under Joey's hands to even the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 runs in. First baseman White staying right on the bag to cut down on the Nick Senzel lead. Votto takes and the 3-2 count. He walked him his last time up. That was in the 3rd. Votto pawing around, doing some landscape work in the left-hand batter's box.
Well, if he hits this ball towards the third baseman, Senzel may be able to make it to third.
Here's the throw over. That would all depend on how hard the ball was hit and how quickly Yordan Alvarez could get to it. But you're right. If the ball was hit as softly as the one that Casale hit.
Gurriel is the one that's at shortstop. They've got the speedier runner Bregman on the other side of the infield.
Now the payoff. Votto takes ball 4.
Don't matter.
So now Suarez has been up twice tonight and has struck out both times. A trip to the mound being made by Robinson Chirinos. A little pep talk here for Wade Miley, and plate umpire Roberto Ortiz is not going to allow them to settle in. He starts out and the meeting abruptly breaks off.
This would be an awfully good time for Suarez to come to the hit party.
Yep. Two men on, 1 man out, 2 runs in. 5th inning action here at Great American Ballpark. And Suarez hits a ground ball, base hit into right field. They're bringing Senzel around, and it's going to be a 3-0 ball game. Another good bit of hitting. It just goes to show you when you don't swing out of your shoes and try to hit everything to the big board above the second deck and left, you got a chance to make something happen. And the Reds have done exactly that here in the 5th inning. Score Senzel, move Votto to second. And here's Yasiel Puig.
Normally, that little bit of swing or two from Suarez that's an inside-out swing gets him going back in the right direction. Yeah, that was a good piece of hitting there.
Miley being roughed up in the 5th inning, and the Reds hope they're not done yet. Puig fouls. 43rd RBI, by the way, for Eugenio Suarez. Nothing going on?
Well, they've got a right-hander throwing in their bullpen. Hector Rondon, the former closer for the Cubs.
Here's a soft liner foul to the far end of the Reds dugout. And Puig going to hold it on 2.
What the Reds have done against Miley is when they take that cutter that's in on the right-hander and they hit it the other way, it doesn't give him a very good vision of how the swing is. Even if they foul it off, he's thinking, all right, well, if I go away, they were going to be right on it.
Grounded foul.
Because when he brings that cutter in, he's expecting you to do what Yasiel Puig did there. Roll over the top of it, speed the bat up. That way he can use the changeup away or elevate the fastball.
Votto at second. Suarez at first. Puig, the 7th man to hit in the inning. And he started around on the breaking ball and got the safe sign from Adrian Johnson, the umpire, at first. Puig waiting, a little bit extra time taken now by Miley, highly unusual, so much so that Puig stepped out of the box.
Now, Miley and Robinson Chirinos not quite on the same page here. Crucial moment in the ballgame.
The pitch. 2-2, and that didn't miss by much.
Miley wanted that.
Wow.
Just off the outside corner, not by much, but it was off.
He has handled Puig tonight with no problem up to this point. He's popped him to short, and he's bounced him out to first. Now the 2-2 pitch. Foul ball. In case you missed it earlier, tonight a big night in the year, and there have not been too many big ones for Scooter Gennett, but tonight he's making his first rehab assignment with Class A Daytona in the Florida State League. Inside, and the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. And having said that, Gennett right now 0 for 2 with a walk. Well, he played 5 innings, went hitless and 2 times up, and had a base on ball. So he is off and running now. And let's see what the runners do here with 1 out as far as this situation is concerned. 3-2 as it is with Yasiel Puig. And Wade Miley's pitch count has ballooned all the way up to 84. And now the payoff, and a foul ball, and Puig hanging tough.
The Reds have put some good at-bats together here in the inning, and this is another example of that same thing. Not trying to overswing, just trying to stay through the ball, drive it back up the middle.
Votto leading at second. Suarez at first. Swung on, fouled again, and the count stays full. Reds have so far plated 3 runs in the inning, 2 of them on a single by Nick Senzel, and got a base hit by Suarez, got another run in. And the only out of the inning was a sacrifice bunt, which figures prominently in the way this inning is gone by pitcher Luis Castillo. The pitch. Fouled again.
He had a good swing at that one. It is amazing how that successful bunt or a well-executed bunt can create a rally, and that's exactly what's happened here with the good bunt by Castillo.
You know, you talk about pitchers helping themselves.
He did just that.
He sure did. And now Puig steps out for the 2nd time in this at-bat. And Miley wants Chirinos to run through his sides again. And the left-hander with a pause in the pitch, and he walked him, and the bases are loaded. And let's see how long A.J. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to be long at all.
It's a great at-bat.
He heads onto the mound, and already a signal that he wants to go to the bullpen and bring on a right-hander, as the Reds have loaded him up again. So the Astros have made a call to the bullpen. Tri-State 811's partners in.
Right-hander Hector Rondon will come out of the Astros bullpen. The former Cubs closer, 3-1 on the year, a 2.81 ERA. Thrown the ball well in his 28 appearances, 24 hits and 25 2/3 innings.
Bases are loaded. Jesse Winker, not surprisingly, has been summoned from the bench by manager David Bell to bat for Phillip Ervin. And, of course, it was a career game for Jesse Winker yesterday with 4 hits and 5 at-bats, 2-run double, 2-run home run, run-scoring single to knock in 5 runs. Now here he is, a left-hand batter against a right-hander Rondon with the bases loaded. Taking his time climbing in as Rondon waits. And now the stretch by Rondon. It glances to the lead runner. Votto pitches inside and low, ball one. And you go back a few years when he was the back end of the Chicago Cub bullpen. He had 29 saves in 2014, 30 the following year, 18, and even as recently as last year, he had 15 for the Astros. The 1-0 pitch after the nice, easy stretch motion, and that's fouled away. Last year, 2-5 with a 3.20 ERA and 63 appearances, all in relief for Houston. Votto at third, Suarez at second, Puig at first. Coming with a 1-1 pitch to Jesse Winker, and a ground ball slowly hit to the right side. The flip on to second, the throw to first, not in time. Well, I don't know. They say out, and that would end the inning, but now we'll have to wait. And he said out at first, and then he threw to the plate just in the event. Yeah, it's 4-6-3 double play, and now the question is whether or not David Bell is going to challenge the out call at first, and he said no. So Winker pinch hits and grounds into a double play to end the inning, but the Reds score 3, and heading to the sixth, they now lead the Astros 3-0 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. 2019 Google MLB All-Star Ballot is now open. Rock the ballot and help send your Reds All-Stars to Cleveland this summer. New this year, after the first round of voting, the top 3 players from each position will advance to a special election to determine the All-Star starters. Vote daily at Reds.com/vote and on Google by searching for your favorite Reds or MLB Vote. With Jeff Brantley, Tommy Thrall, Dave Yiddy Armbruster, Marty Brenneman back as we go to the top of the sixth. Reds have a 3-0 lead, and the first pitch, a change. It's in for a call strike to Michael Brantley, who has lined to right and struck out. We're in the top of the sixth inning. And close the book on Wade Miley. 4 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and a hit batter. And a mile-high fly ball into shallow center. And Senzel might have lost the ball momentarily, but rediscovered it and was able to come on and make the catch.
All right, folks, you know what time it is.
I do.
That would be Ask Marty time. This is where we ask the Hall of Famer to give his thoughts on any and every subject. Baseball or a lot of other things, but it's always presented by CBTS. And tonight's question comes from Patty McIrish.
Patty McIrish, ball 1 to Alvarez.
Patty wants to know, Marty, who has the best current nickname in baseball, in your opinion?
That's off the plate, a ball 2-0.
And do you have nicknames for any of your broadcast partners or any other people that you work with?
Well, I have nicknames for Tommy Thrall, but I can't tell you what they are. There's a multitude of them. Actually, here's a call strike. I have a number of them. Tommy's a special guy. He deserves more than one nickname, and from my perspective, he's got them. Here's a 2-1 pitch, and that's a high pop foul out of play. You know, I don't know. I can think more about nicknames from guys from the past. I think Danny Darwin had one of the great ones, Dr. Death.
That was sweet.
Pitched out of the bullpen primarily with the Astros and had a very good career for part of the time last year, was Reds pitching coach. Here's a 2-2 pitch and a strikeout swinging drop, but Casale picks it up and puts a tag on Alvarez. Mike Easler, who played a long time with the Pittsburgh Pirates, was known as a hit man. I thought that was a great, and of course, we talked about it before during the strike when there was a chance that the strike breakers would play, and the Reds for a while had a young man in the camp whose nickname was Motorboat. Motorboat Jones. His wife called him the Love Boat. Pitch on the way, and that's
He
in
could
for a
motor.
strike. Yes, he could. Yes, he could. 2 out in the inning. I'm trying to. Can you think of nicknames of players today? I don't think there are too many of them around today. That pitch is high a ball.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in the locker room, there are certain things that you're calling a guy, and nobody wants to call you by your last name or first name. It's just the way it is. It's something that somebody figures out, they call you it, and it just sticks because it's something different.
2 balls and 1 strike on Yuli Gurriel, and he waves at that pitch. So I'm trying to think of teams in this league, and I'll have to get back to you on that, Patty. Patty McIrish.
That's a pretty good name right
It
there.
is. No question. 3-2.
It would be even better if it was Paddy rather
Patty.
than Patt.
That's right.
Patty McIrish.
That'd be similar to that other Irish name, Patio Furniture. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Yuli Gurriel. Ball 4. I'm sorry. I had to drop out on you.
Hurt me right there. I was trying to figure out where you were going.
I had to drop. I've been waiting for 5 years to drop out on you.
You know, I'm a little slow sometimes to
You
catch
picked it
that,
up, though.
but
It took a while. I was waiting for a reaction.
Well, it's kind of like when a baby hurts themselves and you can't
That's
hear
right,
them
that
crying.
moment,
and then
that silent scream.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was laughing on the inside, but I couldn't get my breath out.
Strike 1 call on Josh Reddick, 0 for 1 with a walk. That's 4 base on balls issued tonight now by Luis Castillo, who's sitting on 88 pitches. If he could get this out, possibly could get through another inning. We'll see how David Bell plays it. He would be the 4th batter up in the bottom of the 6th, swing and a miss.
You know, there were a couple of veteran guys that I played with out in San Francisco. They used to call Rick Russell Big Daddy.
Yep,
because
that's
he was
correct.
a big old fella.
Yep.
And he was the elder statesman in the locker room, and they called Don Robinson Caveman. The reason they called him Caveman is he looked like a caveman.
He did. Probably still does today. No balls and 2 strikes. 6 punch outs so far tonight for Castillo. And make that no foul ball. Just ticked it foul. Did Reddick, a left-hand batter. Ron Say, longtime third baseman of the Dodgers, known as a Penguin.
Penguin, that's right.
Yeah,
Because he walked like a penguin.
he did. Ralph Garr, the Atlanta Braves, a road runner. A lot of guys back in the day had nicknames. Here's the 0-2 pitch again, and he struck him out swinging with a good fastball, and that's 7 of them now. And he
700 WLW.
This is the home half of the 6th inning. Hector Rondon, who emerged from the bullpen to get Jesse Winker to hit into a double play to end the 5th. And he delivers to Jose Peraza. Everybody else but him batted in the 5th inning, and he fouls off pitch number 1. A single and 2 times up for the Red shortstop. Reds are expecting to get Jose Iglesias back in time for the Wednesday afternoon game. Foul ball 0-2. So he will no doubt take his rightful place at shortstop again once he's back off the 3-day paternity leave. Rondon a long look, and now coming with a strike 2 pitch. A fastball that misses. After this series ends, the Reds embark on a 4-day stay in Milwaukee. Series begins on Thursday night. And then an off day next Monday, preceding a 2-game series against the Angels in Anaheim. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Reds. No runs, 2 hits for the Astros. And another foul ball. He shot that baby right by Kurt Casale standing in the on-deck circle, and Casale didn't blink an eye. Rondon going down behind the mound, now coming back on top. Outfield playing Peraza, as most do, and that is an opposite field hitter. Pitch on the way. Popped him up. First baseman backs up. Will defer to the second baseman, and Kemp makes the catch in fair territory, 1 out. Casali has singled and scored. He got things underway, as a matter of fact, in the last inning with that ground ball base hit through that big hole in the right side of the infield. And he later scored the first of what was a 3-run inning for the Redlegs.
Well, Tony Kemp remembers the swing. He actually was going to stay on that side of second base. He looked into the third base dugout, and they moved him back up the middle.
Ball 1.
Of course, you got a little different pitcher on the mound now. He's got a little velocity.
Rondon from the full windup had a hit foul behind first base. All even at 1 ball, 1 strike. This Astros club finished off a homestand yesterday, and they were beaten in the final game by Toronto 12-0. And here we are in the bottom of the 6th inning, and they've not scored tonight. Fastball up and in. All indications are that Luis Castillo will be allowed to go back in the 7th inning. 2-1 pitch. And he jams him on a ground ball slapped up the middle. The second baseman up and throwing, and they're 2 down.
Kemp did a good job on the way that he approached that ball. It was not hit very hard, but had he waited a split second longer, that ball would have hit the second base bag. That would have been trouble.
That would have. Here's Kyle Farmer with 2 out. If you're listening tonight on your car and truck radio, please remember to buckle your safety belt. This message brought to you by the Ohio Department of Public Safety. If you're not buckled up, what's holding you back? So Rondon doing what a good relief pitcher should do, and that's keep the deficit where it was when he came in. He's got Farmer fouling it out of play. Reds have been out in order twice tonight. They were set down 1-2-3 by Miley in the first, and he did it again in the 4th. That was a quiet before the storm. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes to count. And he checked his swing in time. It's a ball and 2 strikes on a pitch in the dirt.
I mean, there have not been a whole lot of hits in this ballgame. No. The Reds have 4, but they were aided by 3 walks in that 5th inning.
Yeah, which is very uncharacteristic of Wade Miley. You don't see that happen very often, but it did to the Reds' benefit.
But they put together some great at-bats.
They sure did. 1-2, swung on, pull fair, and hit the umpire. And on at first is Kyle Farmer on what would have been a no light down, a 2-base hit. That ball was fair. It bounced once and picked off big old Marvin Hudson down there at third base. Yeah, Marvin moved right into that ball. He didn't know what to do, and he just decided, I'm going to go left, and that's what that ball drilled him. So a single by Farmer, and if nothing else, it'll enable the Reds to turn the lineup over when they come to bat in the bottom of the 7th, because here's Castillo now with 2 out. Had as important in that bat as we talked about of anybody in this game, when after 2 reached to begin the 5th inning, he got the sacrifice bunt down. Call ball 1. Reds now have 5 hits in the game. Ground ball, backhanded by the first baseman. Nice play by Tyler White. I had that ball ticketed for right field, and White made a
back out for his 7th inning of work. Castillo has thrown the ball awfully well here tonight. He has not allowed this Astros lineup really anything to this point. A couple of hits. And the Reds leading this one 3-0 as Castillo goes to work. here against Robinson Chirinos. And a first pitch breaking ball will catch the outside corner, strike one. And back to the plate and another breaking ball, this time off the outside corner. That'll even the count at a ball and a strike. Chirinos, Tyler White, Tony Kemp. The pitch, way inside. That one almost got him. Hard running fastball well in off the plate, and you could see Castillo dropped the arm angle just enough where that ball just took off. He's had a couple of pitches way in on Chirinos. 2-ball, 1-strike count. And the Reds set up in there again, and he almost hits him again. Another fastball way inside. And a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Kirk Casale is sitting on the inside corner, and Castillo trying to hit it with that two-seam fastball, but that ball is really taking off as it gets to the plate. And there's a fastball right down Broadway. 4-seam heater right there. Three-ball, 2-strike count. Chirinos trying to lead it off. Castillo trying to put him in the books, and he walked him in off the plate. And the second consecutive at bat for Chirinos that he will walk. It's now the fourth walk on the night for Castillo as the Reds begin action in their bullpen. Five walks on the night. Check that. And out to the mound is Kirk Casale as David Hernandez begins to loosen in the Reds bullpen. Tyler White, he has walked and he is grounded into a double play. And that was a pitch that he hit right back up the middle. A nice play by Kyle Farmer as he got to the baseball. That was a bases loaded double play back in the fourth. That was the best opportunity that the Astros have had to score tonight. And the double play ended the inning. Breaking ball down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Three 3-0 Reds lead, and I would not imagine that the Reds would extend Castillo much further if he can't get Tyler White. And that's going to miss outside. A changeup off the outside corner, and it's 2-0. White, 229 batter coming into tonight. And he'll take that one down and away, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. And this has got to be the last hitter for Luis Castillo. Castillo was on the money in both the 5th and the 6th inning, but he has come out here in the 7th, and this doesn't look like the same control that we saw earlier. And a fastball right at the top of the strike zone, right over the inside edge. And a 3-ball, 1-strike count here to Tyler White. Chirinos at first. Votto holds him there. And Castillo's main concern right now is pouring a strike in to White. And he misses way inside, and he has walked back-to-back hitters to begin this 7th inning. David Bell with 1 foot on the steps, and now he is heading up the steps. And Hernandez has been loosening enough time to be ready, even though Bell has not pointed to the bullpen at the moment. As he goes out to check on his right-hander Castillo. He looks to the bullpen, but no point in that direction. And right now, this is just a conversation with Luis Castillo. We'll see exactly how the Reds play this here. But it appears that David is just waiting for the home plate umpire to get there and make the decision, and that's exactly what happens. As soon as home plate umpire Roberto Ortiz hits the dirt on the mound, David makes the call to the bullpen. Hernandez coming on. Runners at first and second, 3-0 ball game. Reds leading, but the Astros threatening. Reds up 3-zip here in the top of the 7th, but the Astros threatening here in the bottom of the order. As the right-hander Luis Castillo started the inning, back-to-back walks of Chirinos and Tyler White. They stand at first and second respectively, and now here's Tony Kemp to face Hernandez. And a first pitch breaking ball will catch the inside corner. That's a strike. Hernandez coming on for the 32nd time. 1-3 record with a 4.8 ERA. It doesn't really tell the story of how well Hernandez has pitched out of the bullpen. ERA inflated a bit in a couple of ball games. But other than that, he's thrown the ball awfully well, and he gets strike 2 on a big swing and a miss on a breaking ball into Tony Kemp. So Hernandez quickly ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Final straw waiting in the on-deck circle. He will most likely hit in the pitcher's spot. And another breaking ball, and that almost hit the back foot of Tony Kemp. That would have been disaster. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And it appears Jake Marisnick will come onto the on-deck circle. Straw was out there. They switched him out in a hurry. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Hernandez to the plate. Pop foul to the left side, out of play. 95-mile-an-hour fastball right on the hands of the left-handed hitting Kemp. So Hernandez has stayed right on the inside corner with 3 breaking balls and then that fastball. Now the Reds righty to the set, back to the plate. Backdoor breaking ball misses way outside. That'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hernandez will check second once and back to the plate. And he misses outside again, and the count runs full. Hernandez quickly ahead of Kemp at 0-2, and the last 3 pitches have been out of the strike zone. So full count offering coming here. And Hernandez will step off the mound. Casale will run back through the signs. And a big pitch for the Reds in this ball game. 3-2 coming. Fouled back behind the plate. Good swing by Kemp, just a bit under it. And Hernandez went right at him. High fastball up and out over the plate. Astros with only 2 hits on the night. But they have drawn quite a few walks here tonight, all of those coming off the right-hander Castillo. Swing and a miss, and Hernandez again comes up large. 1 down. And indeed, Jake Marisnick will come to the plate. Right-handed batter hitting in the pitcher's spot. Marisnick, a .245 batter. 6 home runs, 17 RBIs. Does not have a hit in this role, coming off the bench as a pinch hitter. And Casale out to the mound. No doubt strategy as to how to approach Marisnick here. Marisnick can run a little bit, so any kind of double play ball will need to be right at an infielder. And then even at that point, you've got to turn it over quickly. Hernandez 1/3 of the way there. Check second once. Long hold. Pitch to the plate. And a breaking ball downstairs. Check swing by Marisnik. He did not go. And a 1-ball, no strike count. Marisnik has been getting a bit of playing time with George Springer on the injured list, and he fouls this one back behind home plate. I think that's the ultimate importance for anybody coming off the bench. You've got to get a start every now and then to get some consecutive at-bats to at least be able to judge a pitch coming to the plate. If you're all the time coming off the bench, boy, that is some kind of tough role. A ball and a strike as Hernandez settles back, turns it loose, and he bounces that breaking ball up there. A nice stop by Casale. So that runs the count to 2 balls and a strike. And Alex Bregman looming in the on-deck circle. With Marisnik coming off the bench, this is a guy you want to swing the bat. You want him to make contact or strike him out. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball just off the outside corner, and Marisnik waves at it for strike 2. Marisnik chase that breaking ball. You have to wonder if Hernandez will come back with it here. The pitch and a ground ball to the mound. Hernandez turns, throws to Peraza, and he throws it off the dugout. Votto's got to hurry. Runner coming home from third base, and he will score. And the Reds allow Marisnik to go to second unchecked. That was ugly. That was a double play ball from the time it came off the bat. Peraza dropped his arm angle and airmailed it off the first base dugout. Votto got to the ball rather quickly, but Kurt Casale went to sleep as the run scored, and Marisnik took advantage of it, and now he's in scoring position with 2 down. It'll be a fielder's choice for Marisnik and an error on Peraza. So now a 3-1 ball game. And here's Bregman. Fastball up and in. Bends Bregman backwards. 1-0 count. Back to the plate, Hernandez. And there's a fastball right down Broadway. Strike 1. Bregman has struck out, grounded out to second on a terrific play by Kyle Farmer, and then struck out looking again. All of those at-bats, of course, coming against starter Luis Castillo. Swing and a miss. Chased the fastball well up and out of the strike zone. And now Hernandez with a commanding 1-ball, 2-strike count. Reds righty sets, turns it loose, and airmails the fastball way up high. Tried to get another fastball right at the top of the strike zone and see if Bregman would chase, but that one just took off. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Marisnik with the lead at second. Farmer holding him there, the pitch, and that's outside, and the count will run full. The guy on deck, you're back at the top of this Astros order, and these top 3 hitters I think he's swinging pretty well. Full count to Bregman, and Hernandez, another big pitch here in the inning. And he misses outside, and Bregman walks. So that is the third walk here in the 7th inning. And it appears David Bell is going to bring on the left-hander Amir Garrett to face Michael Brantley as Bell. And the Reds will ask Garrett to get a big out of Michael Brantley here with runners at first and second base. Astros have scored a run here in the second to pull within 2. 3-1 ball game. And for the most of Michael Brantley's career, it really hasn't mattered if you were throwing right-handed, left-handed, or you kicked it up there. This guy can just flat out hit. And a very difficult out. But you got an awfully good left-hander on the mound in Amir Garrett. Runners at first and second, and Garrett will go to work. Big fella comes set, the kick, the pitch. Ripped down the right field line. That's heading into the corner. And that will score at least Marisnik. They will hold Bregman at third base as the throw comes all the way in from Yasiel Puig to from right field. And it is now a 3-2 ball game. Runners at second and third base for Yordan Alvarez. A breaking ball that stayed middle in, and Brantley smoked it into the right field corner for a double. Hey, that guy, when he's healthy, he has just been a phenomenal hitter. So now Alvarez. The youngster 1 for 3 here tonight. And Garrett sets and turns it loose. Fastball upstairs, 1-0. Reds leading 3-0 coming into this inning. It is now a 3-2 ball game with the tying and going ahead runs in scoring position. Fastball way inside, 2-0. Astros awfully quiet for the first 6 innings offensively. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball from the left-hander Garrett. And Alvarez comes unglued over the top of it. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Bregman at third. Brantley out at second base. Garrett back to the plate. Fly ball high into the air into right field. Puig should have it when it comes down. He does.
Let's go for all things unmistakably Cincinnati.
CincinnatiUSA.com.
Astros will go back to their bullpen. They'll bring on right-hander Will Harris, and he's had an awfully good year. This will be his 29th appearance. Harris with a 1-1 record, a 1.44 ERA. 25 innings, 20 hits. He's only allowed 1 home run. And he go to work against the top of the Reds order, Nick Senzel. First pitch swinging, fly ball right field. Brantley is there. He makes the catch. 1 down. So 1 pitch and 1 out for Will Harris. And that'll bring Joey Votto to the plate. Votto 0 for 1 here tonight. Struck out in the first inning. Walked in the third. Walked again in the fifth. Harris to the plate. Breaking ball, strike right down the heart of the dish. Over the top hook, and he put it right on the money. 0-1 count as Harris sets and he turns it loose. And a fastball up and in. Raising the hands is Votto at the plate. Evens a count at a ball and a strike. One down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. What was a 3-0 Reds lead has now turned into a 3-2 ball game. Reds still holding on by a 1-run advantage. And a foul ball off the front foot of Votto trickles down the first baseline. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. 1, 2, 3 here in the Reds order. Votto set back at the plate. Harris as well, the pitch. And a fastball right at the top of the strike zone, and Harris doesn't get the call. And that'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. Quickly to it. Kemp flips on to first in time to get Votto 2 down. That'll bring a Eugenio Suarez to the plate. Suarez with a single and an RBI in his last at-bat. Proved to be a big RBI because that was the 3rd run of the ball game for the Reds. To the Nick Senzel 2 RBI single into center field. All 3 runs for the Reds coming there in the 5th inning. Fastball up and in, 1-0. Harris doesn't take a lot of time. He just gets it and brings it to the plate. And again, running fastball in off the plate under the hands of Suarez. And it's a 2-ball, no strike count with the Yasiel Puig waiting on deck. Harris back to the plate. And a breaking ball misses downstairs. 3 balls and no strikes. Suarez waiting. And there's a fastball right on the outside corner, straight over the top from the right-hander Harris. The Reds have Raisel Iglesias forming in the bullpen. The pitch. Fouled straight back. Fastball up and in, and this time on the plate. Suarez taking a hack, but just a bit underneath it. And now a full count. 2 down here in the Reds' 7th. The pitch. Popped up and fouled to the right side, out of play. Another fastball from Harris. He came right at Suarez. This time got the ball over the plate a bit. Back to the dish. Fly ball deep center field, but it's going to be caught by Reddick for the final out.
We move to the top of the 8th inning. The Reds, of course, now with only a 1-run lead in this game at 3-2. And Amir Garrett will begin the inning. He'll be facing Yuli Gurriel, followed then Josh Reddick will be up, and we'll see what David Bell opts to do at that point. First pitch is swung on and lined over third and fouled. Gurriel is 1 for 2 with a walk. Pitching line, Castillo 6+, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 7 strikeouts, a career-high 6 walks, and 1 wild pitch. David Hernandez worked 2/3 of an inning, has struck out a batter, and he also walked a batter. 1 strike and nothing on Gurriel. And the left-hander bringing it, and that pitch a breaking ball down. I want to extend a happy 50th wedding anniversary greeting tonight to Gary and Pat Ingram. Or more precisely, Pat and Gary Ingram, Amanda's mom and dad. That's a swing on a pitch. No, he said he did not go, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
50 years. That's
Anybody
serious.
been married 50 years?
Tip my hat.
They ought to be put in some type of Hall of Fame for such things. That's pretty special. They're 2 very special people. They're great folks. 2-1 pitch, swung on and popped up and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tonight's scoreboard stumper brought to you by First Financial Bank. We go beyond banking by putting you first. First Financial Bank member FDIC since 1970. 6 pitchers have each led their league in strikeouts in 5 or more seasons. Who are they? Since 1970, 6 pitchers have each led their league in strikeouts in 5 or more seasons. Liner foul to right. Who are they? Let's see.
Justin Verlander.
That'd be one.
They always have somebody on the other team.
That'd be 1.
Roger Clemens.
That'd be 2.
Nolan Ryan.
That'd be 3. You're cooking now, my man.
How many are there?
There are 3 more. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball into left field. That ball is going to be dropping for a hit. Winker could not get to it, and Gurriel has singled to begin the 8th inning for Houston.
Well, that ball was in the air a long time.
It surely was. So now Josh Reddick stands in. Reddick has bounced out and walks and struck out, sandwiched around the base on balls. So you've got Verlander, you've got Ryan, and you said Clemens. All right, now the guys who are left. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Ground ball to first. Votto gets. He throws to second. And the return throw not in time.
Oh, so close.
Almost a double play, but not one. They get the force out on the lead runner at second. Votto throwing to Peraza. The return throw, Reddick was able to beat it. And now David Bell. Let's see if he's going to make a pitching change here. He's got Raisel Iglesias ready in the bullpen. He's out of the dugout on his way to the mound, and so Amir Garrett's night will be done, and Iglesias will be asked to come on and get 5 outs in a bid to try and protect this Reds lead and give them a victory in Game 1 of this series. The call goes down. Meanwhile, during the commercial break, Brantley was rolling. He had earlier said Nolan Ryan, that was right. Justin Verlander, that was right. Roger Clemens, that was right. And has since said Steve Carlton and Randy Johnson, which means he has 1 left. This one guy that's left is a Hall of Famer. Here's a pitch. Very high pop-up. He's hacking on pitch 1. That's way up in the air and shallow left. And Peraza goes out to get it, 2 out. So wasting no time is Robinson Chirinos as he pops out, and that'll bring to the plate the first baseman Tyler White, who tonight has walked twice. The only official at-bat he has was when he bounced into a double play in the 4th inning. I'm going to give you the years this guy led the league in strikeouts. Ball 1. He did it in 1970, 71, 73, 75, and 76. Let's see how to clear it. 1 ball and no strikes with 2 out. And now White backs away from the plate. He was a USC Trojan. The pitch, and that's dug out of the dirt. A good catch on a bad pitch.
Does his first name start with a T?
It does.
Tom Seaver.
That's it. You got it. You got them all. You take hints well.
I do.
Seaver, Carlton, Clemens, Verlander, Johnson, and Ryan.
You know, you have to be able to give good hints also.
Yeah, well, I try to give hints that are not too obvious.
Well, they weren't. I didn't know he was a USC Trojan.
You did not?
I did not.
3 balls and no strikes.
but you helped me with the years because I wasn't really sure if it was somebody that played while I was playing or if it was because I'm racking my brain.
Needing a strike, and he got it. 3-1 to count. Bullpen trying to save it for Luis Castillo, who had an incredibly off night with his command. As we mentioned, the 6 walks he allowed represent a career high. Runner at first base, Josh Reddick, and there's ball 4. That is the 8th walk allowed tonight by Reds pitching.
That is just not something that we have seen this year.
No. So now Tony Kemp steps in. He struck out most recently when he batted in the last inning. Prior to that, a couple of ground balls to Joey Votto at first. Left-hand batter with the tying run at second and the go-ahead run at first base. Iglesias with a motion on the mound, and now he pauses and pitches, and a swing and a miss. Quickly out to the mound goes Kurt Casale, joined there by Eugenio Suarez. I would imagine to act as something of an interpreter, and that meeting breaks up now, and the third baseman and the catcher go their separate ways. Astros shut out for 6 innings on only 2 hits. The Reds scored all 3 of their runs in the 5th inning, and then the Astros come back, aided by a throwing error by Jose Peraza in the 7th inning to score 2, and now they're threatening with 2 out an inning later. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryan Presley, a right-hander, currently throwing in the Houston bullpen. Iglesias steps off after looking long into Kurt Casale. Kemp steps out, jumps right back in. Reddick leading at second base. White off the bag at first. 1-1 pitch, and that's going through Casale, and both runners move up.
I think he got crossed up. I think he was crossed up on the previous pitch, and I think he got crossed up there.
That'll be a wild pitch. That ball's got to be caught right there.
Well, I think that the reason Casale went out after the first pitch was to make sure that they were on the same page as far as signs. You're giving a multitude of signs with a runner at second. I think he was a little off, but able to make the catch on the changeup. When you throw a fastball and you're expecting a breaking ball and it's in the dirt, you got no chance.
Meanwhile, the meeting goes on, and manager A.J. Hinch has made a change. Jack Mayfield has gone to second base to run for Tyler White. This thing getting stickier and stickier by the moment. And the Reds right now, over the last 2 innings, have been without question their own worst enemy. It's a 2-1 count on Kemp, and this obviously changes the potential of this inning and certainly weighed in heavily in favor of the Astros, because whereas a normal base hit would have tied the game up, a hit now would put them in front. In all likelihood, Mayfield with better foot speed than the man he replaced, Tyler White, at second. And now the pitch, and that's low and inside, and this is one of those nights when Iglesias cannot throw strikes. Miles Straw, who was on deck earlier tonight when they made the change and brought Marisnik on to pinch hit in the 7th, is now on deck. And there's a swing and a miss, and the count is 4. Runners leading at second and third. 2 out, 3-2 Reds here in the top of the 8th. The right-hander ready with a payoff pitch to Kemp, and he bounces it foul on a swing on a pitch down that trickles over toward the third base dugout. You come see the Reds, be sure you download at Ballpark, the official Great American Ballpark app. Check in at the game to unlock special offers, exclusive content, and seat upgrades. Download Ballpark for free and play Baseball Bingo, presented by Dynegy. Iglesias tries him again, and it's a ground ball to the right side. Here's a pickup and the throw to first, and the inning is over. So
this is right-hander Ryan Presley. Presley coming on for the 31st time. Check out these numbers. 1-0 with a .86 ERA. 17 hits he's allowed in 31 1/3 innings. Yuli Gurriel will take over at first base. Mayfield stays in the ball game at short. And Alex Bregman moves from short to third base.
And Yasiel Puig leads off the bottom of the 8th, and he shoots it foul to right.
He is anything but Puig.
Anything but, there's no question. So Will Harris pitches his 7th. He retires the Reds in order. And Puig tonight has popped out, grounded out, and walked. The pitch, swing and a miss. Jesse Winker waiting on deck to be followed by Jose Peraza. And if you're wondering about the 9th inning for Houston, the pitch, swing and a miss. And he didn't waste any time at all. 3 pitches and see you later.
3 fastballs.
That'll bring up Jesse Winker, who was brought off the bench to pinch hit for Phillip Ervin with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. That was an inning in which the Reds quite honestly could have blown this game wide open, but Winker short-circuited that by grounding into a double play to end the inning. Now the stretch by Presley onto the plate, and that's a breaking ball for a strike. So they'll have a pinch hitter. In all likelihood, Miles Straw will lead the 9th inning off, followed by Alex Bregman and Michael Brantley. So Raisel Iglesias will have his work cut out for him. Check swing and strike 2 call. This is a big date in Major League Baseball history because it was on this date back in 1960 that Ted Williams hit a home run off of Cleveland's Win Hawkins for Williams his 500th home run, and he was at that time the 4th player in Major League Baseball history to do it. There have been a boatload of them since then. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Long look by Presley. Now the motion. And the 1-2 coming to Winker, and that one's popped foul and back into the seats.
Hall of Famer Joe Morgan began wearing number 8 in his first season with the Reds in 1972. Wore the number for the balance of his career. From 65 to 71, Morgan wore a different number as Houston's starting second baseman. Your question, what number was it? 5, 14, or 18? You said 18 the first time.
I did. Foul ball.
My question now to you is, would you like to stay with that?
I think I'm going to stay with it.
Let's have a look.
I don't feel good about it, but I'm going to stay with it.
The answer is C, 18.
Now, let me tell you why I think it was.
Why?
Because they tried to trick me, giving Johnny Bench's number 5 and Pete Rose's number 14. And then they throw that out, 18 number out there. I ain't buying. That's your guy.
That is a great.
That's your guy, Chris Eckes.
Yes.
It's your guy.
My guy. Yeah. Morgan played with Houston from 63 to 71. And from 65 to 71, he wore number 18. At the time of his trade to Cincinnati, Reds hitting coach Ted Plazewski was wearing number 18, prompting Morgan to begin wearing number 8. In 1998, the Reds retired 18 for Clue and 8 for Morgan.
How about that?
That's pretty good.
That's good stuff. 2-2, meanwhile, on Winker. Wade Miley went 4 1/3, ran into big-time problems in the 5th inning and was lifted. Since then, Hector Rondon, Will Harris, and Ryan Presley. And they've done a good job tonight out of that Astros bullpen. Winker, meanwhile, hangs around with another foul ball.
You know, when you think of Joe Morgan, you would think whatever number he was wearing, he would get in any club that he would go to. But then again, that's Ted Clue.
That's correct. That is absolutely correct.
Joe put on a show in Cincinnati, that's for sure.
He sure did. Here's a 2-2 again, and it's ball 3. So no matter how this at-bat turns out, it's been a pretty good one for Jesse Winker. Strike 3. I think Jesse's a little bit put out by the call from Roberto Ortiz, but he's a strikeout victim, and that's back-to-back punch-outs for Presley, who will now go to work on Jose Peraza. One of the 5 hits he has collected tonight for the Redlegs. Bouncer foul, and no doubt will start at shortstop tomorrow. And as we mentioned earlier, the Reds are fully expecting that Jose Iglesias will be back in time to play the afternoon game here on Wednesday. Now the strike 1 pitch. That's strike 2 call. Three of the Reds' 5 hits came in that 3-run 5th inning. Outside of that and before it, Peraza with a hit in the 2nd, and Farmer a base hit in the 6th inning. That's been it. But Houston has had but 4 off of Reds pitching, 2 off Castillo and 2 off of Amir Garrett.
Well, the Reds had 3 walks to their benefit in the 5th when they scored 3. The Astros had 3 walks to their benefit in the 7th when they scored 2.
In that kind of ball game. Line drive to center. That's a base hit.
Oh, smoke.
Fans at Kroger, it's easy to place your order online and pick up at the store. Try it tomorrow at Kroger.com. So now it'll be Kurt Casale who singled and scored back in the 5th. Call strike 1.
Well, you would think that you would almost have to try to run Peraza here to get him into scoring position against Presley. Not like this guy gives up a whole lot of hits.
That's right. No balls in 1 strike. Casale waiting, and there goes a runner, and the pitch is swung on and fouled out of play. No, Peraza almost on cue. Took off for second. Has to come back. Count 0-2.
I gave him the sign. Put the move.
You did? Casale settling back in. Last 12 ball games, he's hit all 4 of his home runs this season. So he's been on something of a tear since he's been getting more playing time behind the plate. Runner goes again. The breaking ball is over for strike 3 call, and the inning is over. So he punches out 3.
On 100 WLW.
Redlegs in action Saturday, June the 29th. They take on the Cubbies. Their first 20,000 fans in attendance will receive A 150th anniversary commemorative Reds bag thanks to MLB Network. Get your tickets now at Reds.com/150. Miles Straw, a right-hand batter, is in the box to pinch hit for the pitcher as we go to the top of the ninth, and the first pitch is high, ball one. Straw appearing in his 14th game, batting .281 early. He has doubled, he has tripled, he has knocked in 3 runs. That one a strike to him to square things at 1-1. Got to get the leadoff batter in a game like this in the ninth, and Iglesias misses upstairs to fall behind in the count. He came on with a runner at first and 1 out in the 8th. He got a pop-up on first pitch hitting by Robinson Chirinos. Then he walked Tyler White. There was a wild pitch that moved 2 runners into scoring position, swing and a miss, and got out of that jam by inducing a Tony Kemp ground ball to Kyle Farmer at second, and that ended the inning. Now he's got a 2-2 count on Miles Straw with Alex Bregman waiting on deck. Sally sending out the sign, and now the right-hander winging it toward the plate and misses off the plate outside a full count.
Got to make him swing it.
You sure do. 3-2 pitch. Popped him up, but that ball will be out of play. Votto starts over and realizes he's going to be well back in the seats. Straw settling back into the box. And another 3-2 pitch coming from Raisel Iglesias, and he walked him. That is 9 walks now given up by Reds pitching in this game. And here is Alex Bregman, who's had a very quiet night. He is hitless in 3 times up. He has struck out twice. And he settles in after the leadoff walk to pinch hitter Miles Straw. Now straddling the pitching rubber is Iglesias after looking in to get the sign from Casale. Bregman back in the box, windmilling the bat around, the outfield deep. And a quick throw over to first base gets Straw diving back in. Suarez over at third. Inside the bag, he's standing in the cutout. Farmer shading the right-hand batting Bregman toward the middle of the infield. And Peraza a normal position at shortstop. And the pitch, and that one's popped up, and that'll be in play. Joey Votto in foul territory off first and waiting, and makes a catch for out number 1. And now Michael Brantley, who doubled into the right field corner to knock in a run in the 7th inning. Brantley, who had not been swinging the bat very well at all in this, going into this series, and right now, manager David Bell is heading toward home plate, and he's going to make a pitching change. He goes to the plate umpire Roberto Ortiz. And Iglesias is not going to be given an opportunity here to save this game. If it works, it's fine. If it doesn't, David Bell is going to be second-guessed until the cows come home. But I think this is the right move to make. I would get a little sick of watching my closer walk people and falling behind in counts. And so the change is going to be made, and the Reds are actually conducting a double switch. We'll tell you about it.
Bullpen. This will be his 32nd appearance. Lorenzen does have 2 saves on the year. An 0-1 record with a 3.19 ERA.
He'll be facing, as we mentioned, Michael Brantley, a left-hand batter. Brantley 1 for 4 tonight, but only 5 for his last 31, counting what he's done so far tonight and also in the earlier games coming into this series. So 1 man out, 1 man on. Lorenzen stretches on the mound, and his first pitch to Michael Brantley is swung on and hit into center field. 1 pitch, and the Reds need 1 more out to nail this game down. Jordan Alvarez, another left-handed bat, will stand in. Alvarez tonight is single, fly to deep center, struck out and fly to right. Lorenzen dealing, Alvarez taking. 1 ball and no strikes. Iglesias ends up working an inning. He walks 2 and throws a wild pitch. Short lead at first by the runner, and that pitch gets the outside corner for a full strike. You don't see too many managers pull their closer when you're an out away from winning, but that's what David Bell did tonight, bringing Lorenzen on to replace Iglesias, and I think we both agreed from this radio booth that was the right move. That pitch is in the dirt.
There are some times that you have to be able to send a message. This is what we want and what we expect out of you. The only way you can do it, take them out of the ballgame.
Yep. 2 balls and 1 strike. Outfield straight away and deep for Alvarez, and the pitch on the way, and that's high and outside, and now Lorenzen behind in the count, 3-1. And in a night in which base on balls have been real killers for the Reds, even though they lead by a run, a walk right now would put the tying run in scoring position. The Reds need 1 out. He retired Brantley first pitch hitting on a fly ball to center. And now the 3-1 to Jordan Alvarez, and that's a foul ball to left and a full count.
That ball came off the bat. It looked like it was going over the third base dugout. It landed about 3 or 4 feet foul down the third baseline.
Lorenzen goes down behind the mound, rubs up the new baseball, now comes back on top. And he studies Casale. Farmer playing a short right at second base. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And this one belongs to the Reds. Michael Lorenzen, a big job there, getting a fly out and a strikeout. And the Reds have won the opening game of this 3-game series against the Houston Astros by a final score of 3-2. We'll be back in just a moment.